Have you ever stared at your lab results and felt that sinking fear when you saw your creatinine was climbing higher than before? You're not alone. Millions of Americans are living with kidney disease right now, and many of them don't even know it until it's dangerously late. The truth is, by the time most people realize their kidneys are in trouble, they're already standing on the edge of dialysis, and sometimes there's no turning back. That's how serious this is, and ignoring it could cost you your independence, your health, and even your life. But here's the part nobody tells you: your daily choices, especially what you put on your plate, can either speed up the damage or give your kidneys a fighting chance to keep working for years longer. My name is Dr. Mark Ellis. I'm a board-certified nephrologist, and today I'm going to cut through the noise, the myths, and the fake miracle foods you've seen online. I'll show you exactly what science says about lowering creatinine, protecting your kidneys, and raising your GFR naturally step by step in a way that is practical and life-changing. So if you've ever wondered whether there's still hope, stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll not only know the truth, you'll have the tools to take back control of your kidney health starting right now. We've just said it, no single food can magically drop your creatinine overnight. But let's be honest, the internet is overflowing with headlines that promise exactly that. Eat this berry and save your kidneys. Drink this tea and avoid dialysis. You've probably seen them, maybe even clicked on one in the middle of the night when worry kept you awake. Take Margaret, for example. She's 64 from Ohio, and she came to my clinic convinced that eating bowls of cabbage every day would reverse her kidney damage. Why? Because she saw an article shared thousands of times on Facebook that claimed cabbage was a kidney detox miracle. She was desperate, and who wouldn't be when dialysis feels like it's looming right around the corner? Now here's the truth. Cabbage is healthy. Yes, it's low in potassium, high in vitamins, and great for your heart. But can it lower creatinine? Science says no. Studies show that kidney decline is driven by years of diabetes, high blood pressure, and scarring inside the nephrons. A vegetable alone cannot undo that damage, no matter how many bowls you eat. And it's not just cabbage. Bell peppers, berries, even nettle tea, all are wonderful parts of a balanced diet, but none of them directly lower creatinine levels in a meaningful, lasting way. This is exactly why people feel confused. They try one miracle food after another, only to see the next lab results stay the same or worse, climb higher. That disappointment is real, and it's one reason I want to set the record straight today. So here's the bottom line. Don't get fooled by clickbait lists or fake superfood cures. They don't tell you the whole story, and falling for them can waste precious time you could use building real habits that actually protect your kidneys. But just knowing this isn't enough, because the bigger question is, why are the kidneys so complicated that no single food can fix them? And once you understand that, everything else about your health will start to make sense. Because only then will you realize the hidden reason your creatinine rises and why managing it takes more than a grocery list. But just knowing this isn't enough, because there's another factor far more dangerous that explains why kidneys don't respond to quick fixes. And you need to hear it next. And this brings us to the real reason cabbage, berries, or any single miracle food can't drop your creatinine. It's because the kidneys are far more complicated than most people realize. Each kidney is packed with about 1 million tiny filters called nephrons. Think of them like microscopic coffee filters working 24/7 to clean your blood, remove waste, and keep your body's chemistry in perfect balance. Now imagine this, you're born with that million, but every year of high blood pressure, every year of poorly controlled diabetes, every cigarette, every salty meal slowly damages those filters. Once they scar and die, they don't come back. That's why chronic kidney disease develops. It's not about one bad meal or one bad week. It's about years of accumulated damage. I remember a patient named Robert, a 59-year-old truck driver. He thought he was fine because he felt healthy. But when we ran his labs, his GFR had dropped below 40. He was shocked. He had been eating what he thought were safe kidney foods he found online, but his blood sugar had been running high for years. By the time he came to me, many of his nephrons were already gone. And that's the brutal truth. When they're gone, they're gone. This is why no single food can magically heal the kidneys. It's like trying to replace broken filters in a machine by simply pouring a different liquid into it. It doesn't work that way. Science shows that the progression of kidney disease is driven mostly by scarring, and once scarring sets in, the only thing that slows it down is long-term lifestyle change, not a quick bite of cabbage or a cup of herbal tea. So the real question isn't which food lowers creatinine instantly. The real question is, how do I stop losing more of those precious filters? Because if you can preserve the nephrons you have left, you can keep your kidneys working longer than you thought possible. But only knowing why kidneys are complicated still isn't enough, because there are sneaky factors that can make your creatinine look higher or lower on paper, and many patients are completely misled by them. And unless you understand these hidden factors, you might think your kidneys are improving when in reality they're not. That's exactly what we'll uncover next. And here's where things get tricky, because sometimes creatinine goes up or down for reasons that have nothing to do with your kidneys getting better or worse. Let me explain. Say you enjoy a big steak dinner the night before your lab test, a 16-ounce T-bone, maybe even bigger. The next morning, your creatinine might spike, not because your kidneys suddenly failed overnight, but because red meat and the creatine inside it temporarily raised the number on the blood test. Or take another scenario. You down 3 big bottles of water right before your lab draw, hoping to flush your kidneys. Yes, your creatinine number might look lower, but that's just dilution. Your kidneys didn't suddenly heal in a few hours, they're just swimming in extra water. And then there are medications. Some blood pressure pills like ACE inhibitors or ARBs can nudge your creatinine higher. But here's the catch, they actually protect your kidneys in the long run. I've seen patients panic when their lab numbers rose a little, only to learn that this rise was a good sign the medicine was doing its job. One of my patients, Lisa, nearly stopped her life-saving prescription because she thought the higher creatinine meant the drug was hurting her. She almost gave up the one thing slowing her kidney decline, all because the number was misunderstood. This is why context matters. A single lab value taken out of the bigger picture can trick you into believing you're either improving or failing when the reality is completely different. Science confirms this too. Hydration status, protein load, and medication use can all change creatinine levels without reflecting real kidney function. So if you've ever stared at your results and felt confused, know this, you're not alone, and you shouldn't panic over one number. The real focus isn't on short-term fluctuations, but on the long-term patterns that reveal whether your kidneys are truly stable or slowly declining. But only understanding these temporary changes still leaves out the most important piece, because what actually protects your kidneys year after year has nothing to do with quick spikes or dips. And that's why the next step is crucial, discovering the long-term eating and lifestyle habits that can literally save your kidneys from sliding into dialysis. So if short-term spikes and dips don't really tell the story, what does? The answer is the long game, your daily habits, your diet, and the way you treat your body year after year. Because while there's no single food that lowers creatinine overnight, there is a pattern of eating that science shows can slow kidney decline, sometimes by decades. Let me give you an example. A patient of mine, John, was 61 when we met. His creatinine had been slowly climbing, his GFR slipping down each year. He was scared, convinced dialysis was inevitable. But instead of chasing quick fixes, we rebuilt his daily meals. We cut back the red meat he was eating 5 times a week. We replaced half of it with beans, lentils, and other plant proteins. We lowered his sodium, swapped canned soups, and salty snacks for fresh home-cooked meals. And here's the amazing part, after 12 months, his GFR stabilized. The decline stopped in its tracks. That's not magic, it's science. Research from the Journal of the American Society of Nephrology shows that people who follow a plant-forward diet lower their risk of kidney failure by nearly 30%. Another study proves that reducing sodium to under 2,000 milligrams per day can dramatically cut the speed of kidney decline. And countless trials show that controlling blood sugar through diet has one of the strongest impacts on preserving kidney function. It comes down to this: less animal protein, less salt, fewer sugary drinks, more plants, more whole grains, more home cooking. Not glamorous, not clickbait, but life-saving. And before you roll your eyes at the idea of cooking at home, remember this flavor is power. You don't have to eat bland food. Garlic, herbs, lemon, spices all add taste without piling on sodium. Once you get creative in the kitchen, you'll never look at kidney-friendly as boring again. Now you might be thinking, that sounds great, but can I really do it? The answer is yes, because you don't have to be perfect, you just have to be consistent. Small changes repeated daily build up into kidney protection that last for years. Think of it this way. Every salty snack you skip, every soda you replace with water, every meal where you swap meat for beans, that's one more nephron saved one more day. Your kidneys keep working for you. So the next time you wonder if there's hope, remember John's story. He didn't find a miracle berry or a secret tea. He found power and consistency in real food and in the science that backed it up. But just knowing the lifestyle strategy still isn't the final piece, because there's one last factor rarely talked about that can determine whether you end up on dialysis or keep your kidneys strong. And this last secret may shock you, because it's not just about food at all, it's about something deeper that could change everything. I know kidney disease can feel overwhelming. The numbers on your lab report might look scary, and the thought of dialysis can feel like a shadow always following you around. But here's the truth, you are not powerless. Every single day, the choices you make from what you eat to how you live can protect your kidneys and give you more healthy years. And it doesn't take perfection, it takes consistency. You don't need a miracle berry or a secret tea, you need steady, simple habits that build up over time. Think about it. Swapping out one soda for a glass of water, cooking one extra meal at home with fresh ingredients instead of grabbing fast food, reaching for beans or lentils instead of red meat just twice a week. These small changes may not sound dramatic, but science shows they can slow kidney decline, stabilize your creatinine, and help preserve your GFR. I've seen it happen in my own patients. People who once believed dialysis was inevitable discovered that by taking control of their diet and lifestyle, they could push that day off sometimes for years. And you can do the same. But I don't want you to carry this journey alone. That's why I'm here, and that's why this channel exists. I want you to save this video right now so you can come back to it whenever you need a reminder, and I want you to hit subscribe and turn on the bell. That way you'll always have access to the latest kidney health tips, new recipes, and science-backed strategies to stay strong. And don't forget to leave a comment and tell me your story, because I read them and I want to know how you're doing. Here's the most important thing I want you to remember. Your kidneys may not be perfect, but your future is not written in stone. With the right guidance, consistent effort, and a community that cares, you can live a full, meaningful life without being defined by your lab results. So don't give up. Don't let fear control your decisions. Start small, stay consistent, and believe that you can take back control of your health. Your kidneys are worth fighting for, and so are you.